Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so this is a continuation of your notes. Megan, pay attention. Continuation. So we've already started this. This is the second part. We found the surface area of our pyramid. We found the surface area of our rectangular prism. We're now going to find the surface area of the cylinder. Okay, now, if you think about a cylinder, this part, this round part, or the cylinder part, and this part are what we need to worry about. So the top and bottom are pretty easy. The top is what shape? A circle. And this circle's the same, right?
Yeah.
So if I find the area of this circle, and then I can just multiply it by 2, correct? So let's start there. So area of a circle, remember, is pi times radius squared. Remember, we're going to use 3.14. Now, let's just make up some measurements here. Let's say that our radius of the circle is, let's say it's 6 meters. Okay? So in that case, this is going to be 6 squared. So I end up with area is equal to 3.14. What is 6 squared?
36.
Okay? Going back to our perfect squares. And then if you multiply that out, what is 3.14 times 36? Who has that for me? Raise your hand, please. So everyone has their calculators with them, correct? So what did I end up with? Excuse me. Zacchaeus, what'd you get? 113 point what? Okay. And I'm not going to label it yet because, remember, we had a top and a bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply this by 2. And when I do that, what do I get for my area for both of my circles?
226.08.
Say it again for me.
226.08.
Okay, and so that is the surface area for the top and the bottom of my cylinder. Now, this part is the issue that most people have right here. They're not real sure what to do with this. So I want you to think about it. Well, let me ask you this. What is this shape? Well, now stop and keep thinking about it. Now I'm finding surface area. So do I care about the inside of this shape? No, I just care about this outside, correct? Okay, so I want you to think about it. Think about a soda can. What if you took the top and the bottom off of a soda can and you cut it down the middle and opened it up? What shape would you get? I heard it.
Rectangle.
A rectangle. So now think about this. If you think about it, isn't this a cylinder, this piece of paper? And there's my top and there's my bottom. If I cut it and I open it, you agree that that's a rectangle, right? Okay, so don't I really need to find the area of a rectangle to figure out the outside of my cylinder? You see it? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So area equals base times height. Area equals now. Oh, and usually, I'm sorry, we forgot one of our measurements on our picture. So usually they're going to give you the height. So let's say that this height is, let's say it's 10 meters. Okay? Julian? Yeah, can you, I'm finishing my notes. Can I send him in a couple minutes? Yes, he is. Thanks, bye. Okay, so when I look at this and they say area is base times height, you agree with me that the height is 10, right? If I turn this cylinder like this, that 10 is going to be the height. Do you see it? Okay. The problem is, what is my base? What is my base?
12. 12.
Hang on a minute. I want you to look at this. Is this my rectangle? This is my cylinder, correct? where's my base on this?
Bottom.
Okay, now wait a minute, watch. Let's make it into a cylinder now.
5.
What happened to my base? What is my base now? Look at it.
It's the circle.
Yes, Chris, say it again.
It's the circumference of a circle.
Do you see that? Isn't the outside of the circle called the circumference of the circle? Are you what? Look. When I open this up, doesn't this circumference of the circle become the base of my rectangle? You with me? Are you seeing it? You got to look at it again. Watch. Do you agree with me? Here's my cylinder. This outside of the circle, when I cut my cylinder open, that outside circle, or the circumference of my circle, is the base of my rectangle. Everyone see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't I really need to find the circumference to be able to find the base of my rectangle? Okay, so we're going to do that. So I need to actually kind of come off to a little side problem. Remember, circumference is equal to pi times diameter. Circumference, pi, we're going to use 3.14. What's my diameter? 12. So no, it's 12. Remember, radius is 6, so we need to double it. So in this case, it's 12. So circumference is equal to what? What is 12 times my 3.14?
37.68.
Okay, so that is the circumference of my circle, which we determine is actually the base of my rectangle. So we're going to take this 37.68 and put it in for the base. Okay, so it's kind of complicated, isn't it? There's a lot of little steps here that you have to think through. Okay, now, do I need this circumference for anything else? Am I going to add it in? Is it part of my surface area? No. So you know what? I'm going to put an X through it now because I don't need it for anything other than figuring out my base. Okay? Now I'm going to finish this problem out. So I end up with, I'm going to come up here, area is equal to what happens when I multiply by 10?
Decimal goes to the right.
Okay, so I get 376.8. Hopefully you can write better than I can.
Is it meters squared?
376 point, well, I can label it, but I'm not quite done. I need to add everything together, so I'll wait till the end to label everything, okay? But Megan, you're right. Yes, you would be correct. Okay, so now remember, this is the area for my top and my bottom is right here. This is my rectangle. That's my area right here. If I add all of that together, wouldn't that be the whole surface area?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take my 226.08 and I'm going to add on my 376.8. And when I do that, my surface area comes out to be what?
602.88.
What? Now, so Megan, this is where, yes, I'm going to label it what?
Meters squared.
Okay? Joss,
Where'd you get that it was meters though?
didn't I label it?
Yeah.
I labeled it meters. Okay? So remember, if it's not labeled, you're going to use units, but if it's, so you have to look and see what they do. Okay? Now, so wait, go through it again one more time, stop and think what you're doing. Okay, with a cylinder. If I'm finding the surface area of a cylinder, I'm going to find the area of the top. I'm going to multiply it by,
Bottom.
no I am not, I'm going to multiply it by 2, because the top and the bottom are the same, correct? Okay, then I am going to think about this cylinder cut open. It's a rectangle, so area of a rectangle is base times height. However, to find my base, I must find the circumference of the circle. The circumference of the circle is the base of my rectangle. So circumference, which is the same thing as my base, times the height, and then I add it all together. Okay, do you see the steps?
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow when you come in, you're going to work on your 3, I think it's what, 3-5, am I right? 3-5 worksheet. Okay? Any questions?